Hello and welcome back to episode 13 of Sherlock Holmes, Crimes and Punishments. I'm Vic and you're watching yet another Let's Play channel. So let's do it. Yep, I really want to skip. And look at that. Popped right open. Sir Eustace, your current physical and mental state is of great concern. There are several signs of a hepatic decompensation. The last time that we met, your eyes were bloodshot and your skin was tinged with yellow. There is a particular odor from your breath that is common in those suffering from liver damage. Then there are the lung abscesses that we have discussed. The leg cramps you have described to me are caused by an alteration to the nervous system, which in turn is caused by an excess of alcohol. That includes the tremors. Your liver seemed excessively hard at the time of your examination, which is a sign of an evolving cirrhosis. There are also signs of ascites, fluid in the peritoneal cavity, which are evident with your swollen stomach. The pain beneath your left rib indicates a pancreatic malady, which may lead to fatal and fulminant pancreatitis. Your condition may pose a risk to others. Your excessive alcohol consumption lowers your self-control and heightens your aggression. Wow. So this guy was in really very rough shape.
Antique coins, possibly of value, but they're scattered without care. It is common practice to keep one's valuables in a safe behind a painting. It should not really pose a challenge for a criminal.
So that casts some doubt onto the burglary part of the story. Do you have anything further to say to yourself? How about you? Yeah.
Sir Eustace's doctor speaks of his violent behaviour.
Yes, Sir Eustace was an extremely violent man. A detestable human being, to be more precise. It is true that he once threw a decanter at me, and all because I dared to stand up to him in defence of my mistress. Sly devil. God forgive me that I should speak of him so now that he's dead. But a devil he was, if ever one walked the earth. We met him only 18 months ago. She'd only just arrived in London. Yes, it was her first voyage. She'd never been from home before. Wonder with his title and his money and his false London ways. If she made a mistake, she has paid for it, if ever a woman did. She doesn't have any friends here, so it was specially hard for her.
Rather sympathetic tale. Let's go see about the dining room. Screw off, Lestrade. I have stuff to do. What's that? Can't look at that.
You should examine the body of Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
Have you done? Dr. Watson? It's a lovely little estate, isn't it?
Antique hunting weapons.
Blunderbuss.
Sailor's knots. That's interesting. This rope was handled by the murderers. We need a scent hound to follow their trail. I will take it with me.
I have one of those back at the house.
This is the chair that Lady Brackenstall was tied to.
And this is where I'm to believe the silver was stolen from?
These wine bottles are expensive and mostly from France. An empty silverware box. It appears that the intruders have stolen the contents.
Probably not worth as much as the stuff we found in the safe.
This candlestick is valuable. It is interesting that it was not also stolen.
Is there more for me to find here?
A bottle of wine is missing here. The criminals did not thoroughly ransack the house. They only took a little silverware.
Also evidenced by the fact that they didn't even molest the maid. I mean that, not in the
hunting
more
scene.
traditional sense.
This door leads to the upstairs bedrooms. Apparently the criminals did not venture there.
Come on.
So, Watson, what have you learned from examining Sir Eustace's body?
Well, I can confirm that the death was instant. Sir Eustace was facing his attacker when he received the blow to his head. There are no other apparent injuries.
The head was cracked with the force of the blow. That must be the murder weapon. Quite a large stick, a formidable weapon.
One might call that a cane.
Barefoot, he had therefore been in bed and did not have time to fully dress. It is covered in blood. Sir Eustace might have struck his head upon it while falling from the blow. That is one possible explanation.
And I'm going to rule it right out because he only had one injury. So let's see what we've got so far. Yep, fine. We'll go back to that in a minute. And we'll go back to that in a minute. Good, these are all pairing up. I don't think the three of these really look like they're very related. So let's have a look at all of this. Yeah, those are both true. I noticed that the poker didn't appear to have any debris on it, which leads me to question the poker blow. Yep, those are all expected. Yeah, I think this is a very real possibility. Let's gather up some more clues, I think.
A decanter standing next to the open bottle. An inseparable pair indeed. This glass has some wine traces, but no visible beeswing.
I'm not sure what that means.
There is beeswing at the bottom, as if the wine had not been decanted before being poured.
Oh, and they're different. Well, that's interesting.
This glass has some wine traces, but no visible beeswing. It is rather strange that only one of these glasses has dregs of beeswing inside it, while the other two are clear. Chateau Calon-Ségur, French wine, Grand Cru.
Alrighty. Oh, and there's an observation to be made here. The mantelpiece. What?
It appears that the bell rope was cut by someone taller than me.
And we're done in here now?
The death was instant.
A fur trader's cabin.
See,
That must be the murder weapon.
I'm very interested in that. And for it to wind up bent at a right angle like that? Look, it's clean. It shouldn't be clean. Watson, I gotta go get the dog. You staying here? I want a naked lady statue for my yard. That's not too much to ask, is it? I want an all-the-way naked lady statue, though. None of these one-tit-out statue. I would hate for them to wind up with a bad tan, you know what I mean? Well, no, I mean, I know statues don't get tans, but, like, the exposed part is going to be, you know, exposed, and the not exposed part is going to be not exposed. And so, you know, there's going to be weather and stuff, so it's sort of like a tan. Don't look at me that way. You know you want a naked lady statue in your yard, too. Alright, dog.
Come on, Toby. We need the best nose in the British Empire on this case.
I agree with you, Toby, that Watson's shoe is preferable to Mrs. Hudson's cold cuts.
It's all about the seasoning. Apparently it doesn't take very long to get to wherever this place is.
Search, Toby.
Now I'm Toby. Can we go faster? We can go a little bit faster. All right. Well, this is a twist I wasn't expecting. I wonder how far we're going to follow them. You know what? Let's go back real quick. It seems interesting to me that they went to the door there. So maybe we should have Sherlock take a look at that. Yeah.
The intruders entered the shed for some reason when they were making off with the silverware.
Alright, and now we'll continue and Sherlock will follow up on that later. I have a feeling we're going to find the silverware in the shed. So then they went by the well.
The scent leads to the well. I should check it.
Yeah. Am I done Tobying? This is where I came in, right? Yeah. Ah, there's more over here. Off we go. And they went over the wall here, I guess.
The intruder's trail is lost behind this wall. The criminals left the house through the French window. They walked to the shed, then across to the well, before fleeing by climbing over the wall. I wonder why they chose such a winding route.
Probably because they had some secondary objectives to complete. And they were playing teardown. You know how it is. You gotta plot out your route in advance.
This hook might be useful.
Not sure what for, but...
Bags of seed. Some empty bags were recently moved. Small gardening tools. Nothing of great interest. This old suitcase sounds hollow. It must be empty.
Is it, though? Or is it full of silverware? So they removed some empty seed bags?
There's
Oh.
something glittering at the bottom there, but how can I reach it?
Possibly with the hook that I just took? And send it on down.
Silverware. This is hardly a coincidence.
Indeed.
The Brackenstall coat of arms. It appears that we have found the stolen silverware.
The quote-unquote stolen silverware. I guess we don't really have anything to pair that with right now, do we? Not that one. There were 3 people drinking wine out of these glasses. One of the 3 probably prefers wine with B-swing. There were 2 people drinking wine out of these glasses. The remaining glass with the B-swing consisted solely of the dregs from the other 2 glasses. I wonder if I'm supposed to know enough about wine to figure out what the hell that's about. So should we check out the wall? Is there anything for us to learn over here? What up, dog?
The intruder's trail is lost behind this wall.
Brave Toby. The best nose in the British Empire.
Convenient. So what else do you suppose I should gather from this? Where did old Doc Watts go? No, we looked at those already.
The hunting.
Lots of hunting. On and on and on with the hunting. What do you have to say for yourself, Lestrade?
What do you know about Sir Eustace, Inspector? What was his reputation?
A charming man when sober, but an absolute demon when he was drunk. In such moments he was apparently capable of anything. Why, once he splashed fuel on Lady Brackenstall's dog and set it alight. Another day he threw a decanter of wine at Miss Wright's head.
The alcohol seemed to madden him.
To the point that we were forced to intervene several times to avoid a scandal.
Inspector, I have recovered the stolen silverware.
You are a wizard, Mr. Holmes. And where is it?
In the garden well.
Excuse me?
Unique, isn't it?
Rather absurd. What is the point of stealing silverware and then throwing it down into a well?
Perhaps it was used as a temporary hiding place, or simply the thieves wanted to get rid of it. It is up to us to solve this mystery.
What else we got? All right. Yep. Alright, I think we can start drawing some conclusions here. I don't know what to make of this one yet. I'm leaning toward deadly accident. The Randalls were blamed. The robbery was imitated. And I'm surprised that that didn't give me a conclusion. How tall is, I think she probably was acquainted with a sailor. So how tall was the deceased? I'd like to know.
Lord Ramsay Brackenstall.
Yeah, he looks well. There's another one.
Baron Lyndon Brackenstall.
Oh, those aren't them. Or those aren't him, I should say. How do I look at the one behind you, Lestrade?
Sir Warthen Brackenstall. Lord George Brackenstall.
Quite a lineage. There's like a very narrow...
Holmes, don't...
This is a little awkward.
Lord
There we go.
Brigham Brackenstall.
Brigham.
The Brackenstall family seems rather austere.
Indeed.
Lord Brigham...
Yeah, no, we heard that already. Do you think he's taller than you, Holmes? Did he cut the rope down? I can't measure him, unfortunately.
This door.
So at the moment, I think we're missing a tall person that cut the rope down and tied up the lady. And he did so using sailor's knots. So we have some information about the Randalls, don't we? Jack Randall, 40s, gray-haired, average height and build. William, broad-shouldered, small, disproportionate head. Melvin, weaker constitution, skinny as a rake. Brutal pirate career. So, I mean, maybe the sailor's knots aren't inconsistent. So what am I missing here? And where did Dr. Watson go? And how is this going to go on for several days? Watson, where are you? Okay, we can talk some more.
There are 3 glasses on the dining room table. I was wondering if...
Oh, I forgot. When I came to myself the first time, each of them had a glass in his hand. They might have been a father and his 2 sons. They talked together in whispers, and then they left.
We found your silverware, Lady Brackenstall. It had not been taken very far.
Is that true? I am very thankful to you, Mr. Holmes.
Your ladyship?
And let's see what the maid has to say.
We found your mistress's silverware.
Oh, that's good news. You really are as clever as they say.
Indeed.
That was not as enlightening as I would have liked. What do we got over here? That's it. So, the lady claims that she was struck unconscious by one of the 3 Randalls. And she clearly was knocked one. But knockout blows don't generally connect with the eye. And also, if she had fallen, she might have a second wound from where she hit the ground. Where the hell did Watson go? I'm thinking maybe we'll go back to Baker Street and see if the archives say anything interesting.
Brave Toby.
Yep,
the best
yep.
nose in the British Empire.
So I have a feeling that maybe we can look up something about the Randalls and learn something useful there. I know Dostoevsky is relevant to the title, but are you going to read it through all 5 cases? What are we on? Are we on case 3? We're not on case 4 already, are we? Oh, there you are, Watson. Really?
This is where I keep my post.
Oh, examine the rope.
Let us
Yes,
see
of
how
course.
the rope was cut.
It was cut by something
Fibers
sharp.
at the end of the rope are smoothly cut. Let us try to find out what tool was used to cut the rope. The fibers from this cut appear to be different. If I cut the rope with a knife, it matches the original.
Right. So that's an interesting one that I still don't know what to think about. And these are both true possibilities. Mm-hmm. Yeah, continue the investigation. Mm-hmm. Why is it showing me that I can make an accusation already? I just need to pick some things here. Yeah, so if I say there are 3 people, they're going to say that that's inconsistent with the Randalls. Really? What's inconsistent about that? By one person who was visiting that night. Yeah. Person who was visiting that night was probably a sailor. I mean, okay. So what happens if we fiddle this around? And we'll say that it is in fact the Randalls. Then it was the Randalls. Uh-huh. Let's say she's not acquainted with a sailor. There's no Randall's option that it is in agreement with it being a deadly accident, which I think is silly. Yep, we just got that one. So let's go over here. Ah, okay, we can't go over there. Yeah, but there were 2 people, and there was no robbery. They just blamed the Randalls. That much I'm confident of. So, she must have been acquainted with a sailor. And so the sailor is a person we need to look to. That's a conclusion I've been chasing all along, and I'm gonna stick with it. Because, you know, if those 3 guys had poured themselves out some wine, they probably would have either poured all 3 directly from the bottle, or decanted and then poured all 3. I think it's unlikely that one of them would have been like, oh, I like the dregs, so pour mine directly from the bottle. That doesn't work for me. So where do I look for evidence of the sailor? Rock of Gibraltar, 1893. Rock of Gibraltar's arrival. There it is.
Here it is.
A bulk carrier from Adelaide Southampton London line. Cunard Building. 6-month voyage through India, New Zealand, and Australia. Brought to England Miss Mary Fraser, the heiress of the Fraser family, engaged to Eustace Brackenstall.
The shipping company, the Adelaide, Southampton, London line, and its address. Interesting. It must be the place where they keep the records, including the one for the crew of the Rock of Gibraltar.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard, they'll give it to you without any problems.
But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
And with that, we are all out of time for episode 13. Come back and see me again in episode 14, where I expect we will run down this sailor, and things may come to a very rapid conclusion. Talk to you soon.